in response to me talking about going carnivore, which essentially means going very low carb, if not no carb, our friend asked, "Did you find you were sluggish when you stopped eating carbs?" In a nutshell, no. And the reason why is because I was already eating pretty low carbs compared to your average everyday person. The only time I would eat carbohydrates was usually after I worked out, and I had this special bread that I loved, and I would consume it with, protein right after each workout. But way back when, before I was even vegan, and I was just doing my normal bodybuilding lifestyle, which included lots of carbs, lots of protein in order to build muscle, which is what I thought you needed, because that's basically what every bodybuilder out there will do. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying you don't need carbohydrates to build or maintain muscle. But back to the question. So back in the day when I was doing photo shoots and I was cutting carbs to get more lean and cut, yeah, holy crap, talk about being sluggish. And this time I was still busting tires. And it was even worse than just the sluggish. It was the bitchiness, it was the brain fog. And so hearing myself say this, I bet there's people out there, well, yeah, so why would you stop eating carbohydrates if they give you energy, if they help with brain fog, blah, blah, blah. And what I've learned from going carnivore is that once you stop consuming these, carbohydrates that cause other problems like inflammation in the brain, in the joints, all that stuff, once your body gets rid of it and starts tapping into all the fat, the fatty meat, the butter, the ghee, the tallow, once you start getting the energy from those, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different playing field. At least that's how it was for me. Yeah, back in the day when I was just all about building muscle, carbohydrates were at every meal, protein, carbs mixed together. It was like religion. They just went together. But it's kind of like coming off of something that's not good for you. You kind of go through the withdrawals. You get foggy, you get lightheaded, but you have to push through to get all that garbage out of your system and let your body do what it was meant to do thousands and thousands of years ago, before we had all of these human diseases that came from the food guide pyramid lifestyle. We didn't have a lot of the diseases we have today hundreds of years ago. We didn't have problems with diabetes. We didn't have problems with cancers as much, as we do now, because of all the garbage that we've been fed since probably starting mostly, 60s. I'm sure it started before that, probably in the 50s, but the more I go down the rabbit hole of what we were told and brainwashed through our televisions, our television programming, we bought into it. They told us that red meat was bad. They told us that cholesterol was bad. And I don't know how anyone who's vegan is, I don't know. I can't believe I did it for 4 years. I can't believe I ruined my body and my brain for 4 years staying away from fat and fatty meats, and it just blows my mind that I did that. I can't believe it. Peer pressure, but we all learn shit. Hopefully people who are vegan will learn that doing that to their bodies, doing that to their, it's just not, there's worse things to do. There's worse things, I've heard of so many people who were vegan go straight into carnivore. And it's easy for them because they're already eating a pretty restrictive, lifestyle. So if they have the ability, like anyone who's vegan who has the ability to eat like that, especially going from your standard American diet and then go vegan, is a big deal because it's not easy. But if a vegan can do that, then going carnivore, it's like a light switch is turned on. They already have the badass ability to eat a certain way and stay away from other garbage, and that's huge. That's awesome. I praise everybody that can do that. But people like me who are vegan, plant-based, and then going into carnivore, and then your body feels like this high of holy shit, what have I been missing? And then I've talked about with the butter, holy shit, game changer. I ordered some coffee that was mold-free. I did do the bulletproof coffee. I'm excited to try it, but adding butter to it, I got the MCT oil. I'm gonna put some of that with it too. I feel like I will never have a tired day again. You guys, I'm just telling you things that I'm writing. I'm not telling you this is how you should do it, this is what you should do. I've always told people, ever since I went carnivore, I've always told people, you need to do your own research. If you have any kind of disease, if you have any kind of problem with your skin, if you have any kind of problem with, just do some research. Go carnivore for 90 days. You gotta go carnivore. You gotta be real. You gotta, but yeah, your body is adjusting. You gotta let it adjust. A lot of people say, oh, I can't do that because then I get tired. Well, yeah, of course, you're gonna get tired. your body is getting off of something that you've given it, and it needs to tap into all the good fat to give you energy. I never thought I'd see the day where I'd be like, I need to go drink some fat. I say that at work all the time now, and I love the looks that I get from all these guys. Like, what the hell? Did a woman just say that? And if only I could, open up someone's mind and be like, look, we've been lied to. We've been lied to a lot. We've been lied to for, decades and decades. Anyone who's paying attention to anything that's happened in this country should know that we've been lied to. And the food guide pyramid that we got, lies, ways to sell food. We don't need grains to be healthy. That's a crock of shit. We don't need fiber. We don't need it. But everyone has to learn it, because everybody's, they have to learn their own way. Everyone's body. That's why I just say, do your research. Try things out. Try keto. If carnivore is too much, look into ketovore. I love my lettuce wraps in the evening. If the lettuce has too many oxalates in it, well, I'm not eating half as many vegetables as I was when I was vegan, so I think I'm okay. I think I'm doing okay with it. So there's my rant. Hopefully that helps.